Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Chris here. Doing something a little bit different today. What I'm gonna do, because it is baseball season, spring training is about to start, started. Baseball season's about a week or so away. What I'm going to do here today is try to predict the 40-man roster for my hometown Baltimore Orioles. I'm gonna try to go through every position, pitchers and everything. Pitchers are going to be fun because I have no idea who they're going to put where. But I'm going to try to go through the entire roster and pick out I think it's 26-man roster this year. It may be 28, I can't remember. There's so many changes to everything. And try to figure out who's going to be where and what. Um, so here we go. We're going to get started. At catcher. Obviously, at catcher, we've got Robinson Trinos. He's going to be the starting catcher for the moment. Um, that's a kind of a no-brainer right now with Adley Rutschman hurt. Hopefully, Adley is able to come up when he's healthy. Just put him on the roster. Let him catch every couple days. Get him ready to go. Let Robinson Trinos be that guy that kind of mentors him and stuff like that. Um, so he's going to be our starting catcher until Adley's ready. Backup catcher, I'm going to go with Jacob Nottingham. I think the other guy we had, Anthony Benboom, is hurt, so that kind of puts him behind an eight ball. So I think it's going to be Shrinos and Nottingham starting the season, at least coming up within the next probably couple of weeks or the next month. And then Benboom's going to be gone, and it's going to be Shrinos and Adley. At first base, that's pretty much a lock. You've got Trey Mancini and Ryan Mountcastle. Ryan Mountcastle's going to be the starter. DH, you're going to probably see Trey Mancini be a DH most of the time. But Ryan Mountcastle is going to be at first base. Second base, it's going to be Rougned Odor. Everybody kind of knew that when they signed him. Jemai Jones, as much as I like him, see the potential in him, he's not ready yet. So Rougned Odor is going to be the second baseman. That's a lock. You may see Urias there, Raymond Ramon Urias, to give him a day off. You may see uh, somebody else take over that spot. Shortstop, I've got Jorge Mateo and Urias and kind of a tandem thing. I like Jorge Mateo at short. I think he's the better option personally, but I think they're going to do a platoon there because both of them have been good this spring, but neither one's kind of broken through and taken that spot. So, third base, you've got Kelvin Gutierrez. I would like to see Rylan Bannon take that spot and have Kelvin Gutierrez back up at first base and third and be a bench guy in the corners and have Urias be the bench guy in the middle infield. But Gutierrez is going to be the starter. I would like to see Rylan Bannon or Terry or what's his name? Tyler Nevin take that spot, but I don't see that happening. So I see Gutierrez being that guy. The outfield is pretty much set. You got Austin Hayes in left, Cedric Mullins in right or center, Santander or Mancini in right field, Ryan McKenna as our fourth outfielder. I don't think DJ Stewart makes this team at this point. I don't see it. I don't see where he fits in on this ball club. I don't know why he's still here. Um, it's not a knock on him. He just hasn't ever shown. He owned the Yankees last year, and he owned the Yankees, but that's about all he really did. He keeps getting hurt. You can say the same thing for Santander too, but there's Santander has more upside as a potential power bat in the lineup, and he's shown when he's on, he's one of the best hitters we have. Um, Now comes the tricky part: the pitching staff. That's going to be the fun one. Obviously, the pitching staff, you've got John Means, he's our ace. That's a given. Um, you've got Jordan Lyles, he is our number two. Not in question or debate. That's what it is. After that, there is no clue who our 3 through 5 starters are. I've got it at, I think Bruce Zimmerman's going to be the number three. I just think they like him. I like his makeup. He's a local kid. I think they're going to give him every chance to take that three spot. At the four, I'm going to go with Zach Luther. He's been, out of all the younger guys on the roster pitching, he's the one that has shown the most so far. And at number five, I think there's going to be a dark horse, and that's going to be Tyler Wells. I think Tyler Wells is going to take that fifth spot. They've been stretching him out this spring, seeing what he can do as a starter. I think he's done nothing but start till he got here as a 4-5 last year and pitched out the bullpen. But he can start, so I think they're going to give him every opportunity to do so. The best way to do that is have him at the number 5 spot, and he's that fifth starter. As a swing man, possible emergency starter, you've got Jorge Lopez. He can start. I like him more out of the bullpen. That's where I would put him. So I'm going to put him in the bullpen. My bullpen guys are going to be Tanner Scott, obviously, Paul Fry. I'm going to go Felix Bautista because I think he's got good stuff. Keegan Aiken, Cole Sulser, Dylan Tate are my bullpen, with either maybe Alex Wells, or Mike Bauman kind of squeezing in there somewhere. But that's my bullpen. Those are my bullpen guys. That's what I think the roster is going to look like, unless something crazy happens and we sign a pitcher out of nowhere, which we've done in the past in the spring, but I don't see that happening. Worst case scenario, Wells doesn't make the team and goes down, gets himself straight, gets stretched out more. And then you've got Isaac Matson, or somebody like that. So those are my picks for our major league roster right now. I don't see any surprises out of my picks. I think those are the guys that are going to make this club. Unless something crazy happens, which I don't see happening. But that's our active roster. That's my 25 man right there. I think they're going to be our 25, 26, 28. I don't remember how many people are supposed to be on the roster, but I think that's going to be our roster. Guys I see coming up this year. DL Hall and Grayson Rodriguez will be on the Major League roster before the season's over. I'm going to call that right now. Before the season's over, those two guys will be in the big leagues. Dean Kramer may make his way back. That would be a good thing. I see Kyle Bradish possibly coming up. Maybe Kevin Smith. I see Jahmai Jones getting called back up at some point. I think we trade Lyles, or if Odor or Lyles have a good season, I think they get traded and we move on and let the young guys come in and play. The big one that's come up of late, do I see Trey Mancini getting traded? Possibly. It's entirely possible we trade Trey Mancini. I don't see it happening. He's the face of the franchise right now. He is a guy that everybody kind of is rallied around in Baltimore. People have been really supporting him. Obviously, he had his battles last season. Super inspirational story. Came back from colon cancer. Had a hell of a year, all things considered. Almost won the home run derby at the All-Star game. Like, the dude just inspirational as hell. I don't see the Orioles pissing off the fan base and getting rid of him. So there's that. I also want to address one more thing while I'm on the topic of the Orioles, because this is something that people need to understand. People like Jock Peterson, who, dude, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, so just play baseball with your fucking team, you dumbass. Here's the thing. He tried to say, oh, the owners of these teams' fan bases should be angry about them not spending. What Genius Boy doesn't realize is that the Orioles are spending. They rebuilt their farm system from the ground up. Before this past year, they were one of the worst minor league systems in baseball. They are currently the number 2 or number 1 farm system in baseball. In baseball. Within 2 years since Michael Ice got here, they have rebuilt the farm system from being a fucking disaster to being the number 1 farm system, or at least a top 5 farm system. That requires spending money. And the reason I say that is they're trying to build sustained success. And by that, I mean, yes, you want to put a good product on the major league level, but you want to also have young players coming through the pipeline to keep it going, so you're successful year in and year out. Like the Ravens do. The Baltimore Ravens are a perennial playoff contender. Why? They draft well. They scout well. They put their resources into the proper places. Do they spend money on players? Yeah, they spend money on players. They get a guy here or there, but most of their players are in-house or drafted in-house. Most of them, like 90% of the Ravens players, are drafted by the team and brought up through the Ravens. They're not free agents. Not a lot of them. You may sign like 1 or 2, 3 or 4. Maybe 4 free agents in an offseason, but most of their players are drafted. They're drafted. They bring them in from the draft. 1 through 7, they draft. And you've got to be good to make it through training camp to not get cut. Like every year, we've got a player like, oh shit, they cut that guy? He looked good during the preseason. He wasn't good enough for us, so they let him go. And you find out they're not good enough because they don't make it. So if you're not good enough to make the Ravens, you ain't good. And people see that. The Orioles have rebuilt, and they put resources into international spending. They finally set up an academy in the Dominican Republic. They've got Latin players. They've had like international signings that have been like some of the best international talent that you could sign out of the Dominican, out of Venezuela, and out of those Latin countries, and stuff like that. So they're spending the money where it needs to be spent. And that has led to an influx of talent in our minor league system that is going to be ready to come up within the next year or two, that are going to be players in the league. There's a logjam of players at a lot of positions where the battles for spots are going to be hot. You've got 2 of the best shortstop prospects in the game, like 3. Joey Ortiz, Jordan Westberg, and Gunnar Henderson. All of them can't play short. Someone's moving. The third base, oh wait, Kobe Mayo's coming up, and he's going to be a fucking stud. What if you move into first base? You got Ryan Mountcastle there. He's 25. Oh shit. You've got like position players battles, outfield battles with Colton Cowser, Heston Kjerstad, Robert Newstrom, Kyle Stowers. All these guys coming up. John Rhodes. You've got pitcher battles. Like all these guys are about to come up at the same time. All of these guys are being built in fire, are being tested by each other. and by each other and by the competition. So the best of the best are going to be coming up, and I would not want to be facing the Orioles in 2 or 3 years because it's not going to be fun for teams in the AL, because a lot of these teams have thrown away prospects trying to just win now. And the Orioles are just plugging away like, yep, we suck right now, but it's going to change. Yeah, we're bad right now, but in a year or two, that's going to change. Because of how they've spent money. They've spent their money rebuilding resources. A player like Jock Peterson, who spent most of his career on the Dodgers, who did nothing but win because they spent tons of money buying players everywhere, and then went to the Braves and lucked his way into a World Series title, like he wouldn't understand that. Because you've got an ownership group who just throws money at everything. We're not the Yankees. We're not the Red Sox. We don't have the type of income because we've got a team around the corner from us, who literally cut our market in half, so we don't have the resources or the money we were bringing in. And that's the truth. The Nationals, being in DC, cut into the Orioles market. And the league reneged on the deal, the Masson deal, and decided they didn't want to pay us whatever, and it caused a bunch of shit. Like, we're not making the money we should be making off of that deal. We're not making the money we should be making of the fact that they put a team in our fucking main market. The Baltimore/DC area was supposed to be, Virginia area was supposed to be pretty much the Orioles market. People used to come up from DC to watch games. Fact. People used to come up from Virginia to watch games. Fact. Those people are no longer coming because there's a team closer to home. So we lost that revenue. For a team that's already struggling because they're bad, losing that chunk of revenue hurts. That's business. Whether y'all want to admit it or not, and whether Major League Baseball wants to tell the truth on this, that's the fact. I can see that as a fan, like just looking at it from the outside. Like, they don't have the money they used to have coming in, so they can't buy players like they did when they got Albert Bell and Roberto Alomar, Rafael Palmeiro, and Miguel Tejada. But they tried to get Carlos Correa. Like, people are like, they put an offer out to him for 10 years, $300 million, because they thought it was an investment in a player that could help them be competitive. They tried. It didn't work out. He signed with the Twins. He wanted an opt-out, apparently, and the Orioles were like, nah, dude, if we sign you for 10 years at $30 million a clip, over 10 years, you're staying here until we trade you, bro. What the fuck? We're not giving you an opt-out in the first 2 years. Fuck that. Because then what if you leave? Like, nah, we want you to be here. And he didn't want to do it. So he went to Minnesota, where they gave him the opt-outs in the first 2 years. He's going to opt out and try to get his money next season. And if that doesn't work out, he's still got a contract. He's going to try to opt out again the year after that. And then after that, he's only 31, 32 in the last year of the deal, and it doesn't matter. He's last year of the deal. He could still get paid one more big contract because he'll only be 31, 32. He's not even 30 right now, and he's already getting $30.5 million or something like that. Like, the man got paid. He's only 27, 28. So he's already getting paid. Like, shit. He's getting paid. So that's something that people need to understand about the economics of baseball. Like I said, I'm a lifelong baseball guy. When I fell in love with the game, like I said, I grew up around the corner from Memorial Stadium, which was the ballpark in the city before they moved to Camden Yards. I lived around the corner. You could hear like the chants for Eddie Murray around from my mom's house. It was that loud at that ballpark. That kind of sticks with you. So I used to go to games all the time. Still go to games when I can during the season. That may not happen this year, just circumstances that have gone on in my life personally. which I'm gonna kind of get into here because the baseball talk's kind of over. So remember, like what you're seeing as far as the Orioles spending isn't exactly what you may want them to be doing, but they are spending money. So I just want to close on that part. On to another topic that's just kind of funny that happened to me today. Um, so I've been having some issues with my health of late. Ringing in my ears, ringing to the point where it's messing with my ability to talk sometimes, where it'll kind of like get loud to the point where I can't concentrate. Possibly tinnitus. I don't know. It's been and I have like this constant ringing in my ear. Now it's not fun to deal with. I don't wish it on anybody because it's like it does make you a little bit crazy because you're constantly hearing it. Um, so today I went to get an MRI done uh to get it checked, and I'm not claustrophobic or anything like that at all. When they put me inside this MRI machine, it was so cramped that like I couldn't do it because like they put this thing on around they put you in the they put you in the on the table. They gave me earplugs. The machine's really loud. They put these things by the earplugs around my neck and everything, padding so I don't move my head, which felt cramped. And I have a mask on and everything. And then they put the thing around my friggin' head, the cage thing around my head, and then they put me in the machine. And it's literally like an inch from my face, or at least it felt like an inch from my face. And I'm like, I got freaked out. I'm like, I can't breathe. I'm not claustrophobic. Like I said, I've never been claustrophobic. But for some reason, I freaked the fuck out. I'm like, I can't. I don't know if I can do this. So I'm like, give me a minute. I took a couple deep breaths, went back in. They tried to do it again. I was like, yo, I can't fucking do this. This is bad. I can't do this. Um, Tried one more time, and I'm like, do we have like a bigger machine we can do this with? And the girl's like, yeah, but it's at another building. We have to reschedule you. And I was like, all right, cool, because I can't. It's too cramped. I can't breathe. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. All I could hear was the ringing in my ear and the ringing, and it's fucking with me really bad. So I couldn't do this MRI today, and I it was just it's funny now. But like the whole time I was leaving, I called and rescheduled for the bigger machine and everything, and they're like, it's gonna be a different helmet. It's gonna be like a football helmet. I'm like, whatever. I can deal with a football helmet on my head. I've had a helmet on. Whatever. It's fine. Never played football. Just worn a football helmet because I had one in my house. So whatever. That's fine. Get home and I tell my fiance, and she's like, "Oh my god, really? You got to reschedule. Why would you do that?" I'm like, "You're not even close." She's like, "You're not even claustrophobic." Like, yeah, I know. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me today. Like, I don't know what happened. She's like, they made you wear your mask. I'm like, yeah, you have to keep your mask on. Maybe it was the mask. I don't know. Maybe it was having like the mask on my face because they make you wear the mask in the medical facilities still, and having that on and with that mask and everything. I don't know whether that's what it was. If I'd taken that off, I might have been okay. I don't know. I even tried to do it with the blindfold on. I'm like, I know if still this cramped ass thing, I can't fucking breathe. No, I can't breathe. I can't do this. So again, I'm gonna try again in a couple weeks. Hopefully, I'm okay enough to do it. I've never felt that in my life. So a bit of funny stuff in my life right now. What is not so funny? Um, Due to like health issues, I recently lost my job, which sucks. Back in September, I had a bit of an issue with actually just go back a little bit further than that. A month or so before, I did this kind of 10-day pouch reset. It's something you forget to bypass patients to kind of help shrink their stomachs. Um, at the time I was like 240 pounds, which I was like overweight, like crazy overweight. Um, Super obese, and it was like an idea that my fiance and I, we said we would do it to try to lose weight. It worked for me really well. In the span of time I was doing it, I lost like a shit ton of weight really, really fast. And I was kind of like, am I supposed to be losing weight like this? Because I lost like you could see it in my face. Like I like was like sunk in, like almost like I was sick. Like people are like, "Are you sick?" And I'm like, "Nah, I just lost weight. I'm just on this diet. I'm losing weight, and that's all." And no, people are like, "Dude, you look sick." And I'm like, "No, I'm okay. I'm fine." Uh, Turns out I actually was sick. Um, Potentially dangerously sick because not because of the diet, mind you. I lost like 50 pounds. I went from like I said, almost 240 pounds to just over 190 pounds while I was doing it. So to lose that much weight that quick, even I was like, something's not right. I shouldn't be losing this much weight this quick. And we had gotten new furniture. So in September, this was like a month or so after all this. So we were moving old furniture out so they could bring the new stuff in. And sorry, excuse me. After we took the old stuff out, like I noticed that my heart was going like super fast, like 147 beats a minute, and I'm like, hey, feel my pulse. And my fiance's like, dude, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. My heart's going really fast. Let me borrow your smartwatch. So she gives me her smartwatch, and we rate it, and it's like 147. I'm like, okay, that's bad. I'm gonna go to lay down, see if I can get it to kind of chill out. She brings the watch in after like a couple hours, and it's at 120. I'm like, that's still really bad. If it's high tomorrow, I'm going to the hospital. So I go to the hospital. They say the next day it's at 110, and I'm like, it's still high because your resting heart rate is supposed to be between like 60 and 70, so like just under 80 beats a minute. And I'm like, it's still at 100 something, 110. I need to go to the hospital. So I go to the hospital. They run tests. They're like, your EKG's fine. I'm like, yeah, but why is my heart going so goddamn fast? Um, Also, I had like, it's just also had like pain in my, like one of my, like, in my chest, like one of the painful spot in my chest. I'm like, something's not right. It's not like, it wasn't like a chest pain. It was like a muscle pain. And I'm like, something's not right. So my doctor is like, hey, you need to go see an endocrinologist. Let's just take a look and see what's going on because your hormones are like really high too. Like your hormones are going like crazy. So I go to see a endocrinologist, and within like 2 minutes of me being in the office, she's like, "Yeah, you've got hyperthyroid Graves' disease," and I'm like, "What is that?" They're like, "It's a form of hypothyroidism where your body's creating too many white blood cells and stuff like that, and it's attacking your body because it thinks you're sick. It thinks there's a foreign body in your system, but there isn't. So we've got to get that to stable out." Um, so they put me on a treatment for medication. Started that in September. No, started that in about no. I think it was about no. They ran a couple tests first to see what the road we should go down first, and then they started me on the medication to kind of get it to calm down. Um, what wound up happening is it has stabled out a little bit, but I had missed some time from work, obviously because I was dealing with my health. Um, which they used as a way to kind of, I guess, walk me out the door. Um, it happens. It's part of life. Like they don't want to. No one's to pay insurance when you're sick or stuff like that. Um, that's what happened. And to basically sum it up, they said you missed a couple days. You missed the day yesterday, and the day after I had a doctor's appointment. I let them know I had a doctor's appointment. I went to that doctor's appointment with the okay, and the next day I got fired. So I was like, okay, that's kind of fucked up, but it is what it is. I'm currently looking for a new job. Hopefully something pans out soon. Was able to get benefits, so I am currently on unemployment and stuff like that. So I'm not completely screwed, but just to let everybody know that's a thing that's going on. Like I said, hopefully something comes up soon. I don't like being out of work, but it has given me the opportunity to time to get my health in order. Why I'd been out before I got fired or let go was I had hurt injured my back. Um, so I'd injured my back. I don't know, getting out of bed, just tweak something, and it's been happening like on and off for like a couple years. Finally went and got it seen for that, and they're like, "Yeah, you need to do physical therapy." So right now I'm in physical therapy and I'm getting my back in order and stuff. My back's fine, strengthened in my core muscles. I might get the 4 pack back. I don't know, but I feel pretty good. As far as my back goes, I'm not in pain anymore. So the physical therapy is working. Here's hoping that that sticks. I'm even more flexible as far as my legs go. I've gotten a lot of flexibility back in my body, so I'm overall like feeling a lot better about like my physical body. Like mentally, I'm just kind of like in a spot where I've been kind of depressed because I'm not working. Like, because just trying to find something that makes sense or something to where I can kind of take care of my family. It's stressful, a stressful time to be out of work. Um, Thought I had a couple of leads on something potentially, but they so far haven't panned out yet. Still hoping on a couple other positions that they work out. I'm just trying to work my way, trying to get my foot in the door somewhere to where I can do something. Here's hoping that something pans out soon. Um, but yeah, that's what's been going on. Um, I'm okay, health wise, I'm okay. I had the COVID deal, like, too. That was part of it. Shouldn't have been, but it was. Like, they use it against me, too. And it's like, whatever. It is what it is. I don't care anymore. I'm not there anymore. It's not my problem. With everything that's going on with banking right now, or the financial institutions, with, like, the whole Russia thing, I'm kind of glad I'm not in that institution, in a call center environment. It's not where I want to be. I know I can do more than that. So now I'm taking the time to kind of go for what I know I can do, jobs that I want, where I can apply my actual skills other than answering a phone. Because I know I'm more than that. I know I'm capable of more than being on a phone all day. I'd rather work with the public. I found that out, that I'd rather be working with somebody or sitting down face to face with somebody, working with their problems, with financial stuff than being on the phone dealing with them, because I like that face to face interaction. I like that personal interaction or the building that relationship with that person, with the customer. Even over the phone, I built relationships with people in my previous job, but it's not. It's a different situation when you're face to face with them, because they can see you and stuff like that, and that's a better environment. So I'm going for that. I've gone at a couple different institutions trying to get my foot in the door, trying to start off somewhere where I can make that move. That's been my goal, and hopefully, one of those pans out or something else comes through that works out for me. Um, but that's the goal right now. It's just to get my foot in the door somewhere and make make my way. Like, even the job I applied for, I got denied for that job, but the person reached out about another opportunity, couple of opportunities, and I was like, Yeah, I'll talk to you about those. Hell yeah, let's do it. Because those opportunities might be just as good, if not better. One of them being a training position, which I actually like doing. I like sharing my knowledge with people. Um, when I was at Rite Aid, I was a supervisor. When people got promoted, one of the things that I was trusted with was training people. And to this day, the people I helped out still, like, they appreciate what I did to help them. Like, to me, it's not like, to me, I did what I was asked to do. I did what was done for me when I got moved up. When that person that was in that position was leaving, they showed me everything they knew. I'm the type of person that if I'm training, if I'm leaving, I pass on my knowledge. Like whoever's taking my place with no problem. That's what you're supposed to do. You pass on your knowledge and you do it without any type of anything. In their case, they were going to different stores and they were being promoted, and that's why I was training them. And I was trusted with training them by my boss at the time. And it to this day, they still thank me for it. They've practically made me treat me like family, me and my family like family, and that's something that to this day, that means out of any job I've ever had, out of anything I've ever accomplished in my career as a working person or my careers, that's the one thing that mean there are two things actually that matter the most to me. Their gratitude towards me and how they thank me, how they their gratitude towards me and how they treat me as family. And when I worked at the bar I worked at as a bouncer, what the owner there said to my mom about myself and my brother. Because we worked there. Um, made my mom cry because it was such a nice thing that he said about us as not just as employees but as men. Um, it meant so much to her to hear that from somebody about her sons that she called us both like crying like I just spoke with your the owner over at down at and I'll hype this place up, Cooper's Tavern down at Fells Point. um Owner literally saved my life twice. Gave me a job two times when I didn't have anything. Literally like I had nothing going on, and the first time he hired me was a favor to my brother. The second time he brought me back was because of how good of a job I did. Um, but he said to my mom, like, are you Chris and Rob's mother? And she said yes. And he said, well, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate and respect your sons. And that's a credit to you as a mom, as a mother, because you raised them. And she broke down crying and just was like, thank you so much for that. He's like, no, I just wanted to tell you that because they are two of the best men that I've ever met. And that meant so much to me. Like next time I saw him, I was like, hey, I just want to thank you for what you said to my mom. That meant so much to her, and it means a lot to me. And like I think I got choked up when he told me about it. That it meant that much. So those are the two times that in my life, the two things in my working career that have meant the most to me are those two moments. Um, Patrick saying that to my mom, and I'll shout out Wayne and Lisa. Wayne and Lisa for their gratitude for what me helping them along the way to when they got promoted to supervisors as well. Like I said, I don't feel like I did anything special for Wayne and Lisa, but for them, it meant a lot. And they literally tell me every time they see me, and it's like I don't know, like I don't know what I don't see it as special. Like I truly don't. Like I see it as I was given a job to do. I did my job. But for them, it meant so much because I was I'm the type of person that if I'm helping you out with something, when they move to their stores, I always told them, hey, if you need anything, call me. I'm a phone call away. And sure enough, if something happened, I would pick up the phone. Like, hey, Wayne, what's going on? And they would tell me, oh, I'm having trouble with this. Oh, try this. Oh, dude, that worked. Thank you so much. No, no problem. Lisa called me one time too, like, hey, I'm having trouble with this. Hey, do this. And everything was cool. Um, Another thing that I enjoyed doing was like kind of paying it forward with people. It's what you do in life. When someone helps you out, you help them out. Um, and I like to think that I've done that in a lot of my time working. So one of the jobs I was told they talked about, the one place is like, we can't hire you for this, but we have these other spots. Like, so if you're interested, set up a time to call you, we'll talk about it. And I was like, all right, cool. Training? Hell yeah, we'll do that. I love passing on my knowledge about stuff. Um, I know this has been a bit of a long one. I just want to give you guys a little bit of insight to what's going on with me personally a little bit and do the baseball thing to start it off before I got into the personal stuff. Um, Actually, I do want to talk about one more thing. This is going to probably be the longest video I've ever done. Um, I want to talk about the Supreme Court stuff that's going on right now. The hearings for Ketanji Brown Jackson, I want to talk about this because some of the shit that went on during this was fucking disgusting on the Republican side. From asking Lindsey Graham asking her about her religion, which is a question that shouldn't be asked at all, to ask Ted Cruz asking if babies are racist, to like just the questions they were asking, they were fucking disgusting, and they had nothing to do with her record as a judge or really or anything. It was just like slander to try to slam her down. And it was basically trying to get revenge for Brett Kavanaugh because he had credible fucking accusations of sexual assault that Christine Blasey Ford put against him. But they tried to use like her sentencing guidelines against like child pornographers. And it's like, I don't even know if I can say that on YouTube, but like, people with like kiddie stuff, I hope this doesn't get me in trouble, but she had to basically explain like, hey, there are certain guidelines that I have to follow that you guys set. Also, like, I gave the guy 29 years. Like, I didn't give him a lighter sentence. The prosecutors wanted a heavier sentence, but per the guidelines set, I couldn't do it, so I didn't. You can't give somebody more than what's recommended for a crime. Like, you're not supposed to do that. So she went by the rule of law, which is what you're supposed to do as a judge. Like, I don't know what people expected, but this was a mess. And so like some of the, like I said, the questioning that they put towards her was fucking vile and disgusting. And it was just bad, and it was an embarrassment. Republicans that were on that committee should be fucking ashamed of themselves. Every last one of them should hang their head in shame for how they treated her, this woman. And they were trying to get her to go angry black woman, and I'm telling you that right now. They were trying to get her to lose her cool. Unlike Judge, I like beer. Like, people forget, like, that guy completely lost his composure, and it should have been disqualifying right there when he just went, I like beer, okay? I like beer. I hung out with Squee and all this other stuff. Ah! And that should have been the end of his nomination, because, like, that guy's not fit to be a Supreme Court justice and that little meltdown about liking beer is why. I like beer, but if I'm up for like a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court, I'm not gonna lose my shit and start crying and wailing like an idiot, screaming about hanging out with my college buddies. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I like the nice adult beverage every now and then. But I am not guilty of the things that I was accused of, and that's all I'm gonna say on that. Can we get back to my judicial record, please? That's what I would have done. I wouldn't have snapped like I like beer. Like you don't do that. And speaking of Supreme Court justices that are in like that should be in some shit, Clarence Thomas might have to resign from the Supreme Court or get impeached. It has now come out that his wife was involved with the January 6th thing, and she sent like 29 texts to various people in the Trump White administration, to Mark Meadows, among other people, about you got to keep fighting to keep him in office, stop the steal. And it's like, that's bad enough. But then he's the only judge that voted no on releasing Trump's records from the National Archives to January 6th committee. So should he have been on that case at all, given his wife's involvement in things? Probably not. Should he be in trouble right now? Yes. Should he have to resign? Yes. If he doesn't resign, should he be impeached? Yes. Yes, he should. He should resign immediately, and if he doesn't, he should be impeached and removed that way. Because, quite frankly, you can't be on the Supreme Court and be that compromised, which he is. And this proved he was compromised, and he should not be serving on the court anymore. I don't say that because I'm a liberal and I want another seat on the court. That's not what this is about. Can you imagine the shitstorm if a liberal justice was involved in something like this, or her husband or wife was involved in like a plot to overthrow the government, to stop the government or the peaceful transition to power, and there's record of it, and you vote to block those records from getting out because you're trying to protect your wife or husband? There would be calls for heads to roll. And let me say this one more time for people in the back. A sitting Supreme Court justice voted in the interest of his wife to keep her conversations with the chief of staff for the former president of the United States secret or archived. The wife of a sitting Supreme Court justice was involved in January 6th. She was a financial backer for January 6th. She was a money person for January 6th. 29 text messages to the chief of staff for Donald Trump. 29. I haven't even looked at the news yet today to see anything else coming out of that. That broke yesterday. I'm sure there's more coming. But that's a thing that should not be a thing. He should be in a world of fucking trouble for this. A lot of people should be asking some very real questions of Justice Thomas right now. But he's off sick somewhere, and we don't know what his condition is. I'm not going to speculate on that. He was admitted to the hospital or something like that with flu-like symptoms. We don't know his condition. We don't know whether he's... There are reports that I'm not going to get into because they haven't been verified by anybody. We know he was hospitalized for flu-like symptoms. No one knows his vaccination status, whether he had COVID or anything like that. They report that he was on a ventilator. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not. There's no confirmation on the ventilator. No major news outlets have confirmed this. No independent news outlets have confirmed this. I'm not saying that he is on one. I don't know. And until I hear proper word on it, I will not comment on it outside of their speculation that he's on it. Allegedly. Allegedly. He's on a ventilator. So that's what we're looking at there. So yeah, that's the story with that. But yeah, he should be in a world of fucking trouble, quite frankly. A lot of people should be asking questions that they're not asking. I don't know why they're not asking those questions, but someone needs to start. That's my thoughts on that. In some more fun news, Matt Reeves released a little deleted scene with from the Batman film with the Joker in it. The kid that played he was Druig, and the guy who was Druig in Eternals playing the Joker. The look of the Joker was pretty damn jarring. He looked like he actually fell into a chemical bath. Like, almost looked like his skin was like burnt and scarred up and all damaged. Hair was all he looked fucked up. And I liked it. I liked it, and it made me want to see more of that Joker. The wordplay or interplay between him and Batman was really fucking good too. Just the wordplay, the way they played off each other was good. It was real good. I liked it. They implied the history without going too deep into it, and that there's like a relationship there. There's been a past there, and I really liked it. So that's what I liked about it. We'll see what happens going into the sequel to the Batman. I again, I really like that movie. I cannot say it enough. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It is good. Um, so that's where we're at. Gone about an hour here, about 50 plus minutes. In closing, I'm gonna do some shout outs. Again, shout outs to the people who inspired me to do this. Break the Apocalypse, John Draper, Shaheen, Wrestling Soup, Anthony Missionary Thomas, and Joey Numbers, Don Tony, the legendary Don Tony, the also legendary Kevin Castle, Jason Solomonster, Chris Van Vliet, RBR Weekly Wrestling Talk, William R. Washington, Theron Reynolds. These are guys who I've all inspired me to do this. Bob Seska, Buzz Burbank, T-Rex, Jody Hamilton, all of the various people. Conan, K-Dog, Mark Maron. These are all people that have inspired me to kind of get into this whole video podcasting type thing that I'm doing right now. Chris Van Vliet, Drew Yari, Jeff Lipman, J-Cat over at Yakuza Kick. You all got Metalcast, Bobby Blades, Bobby Anthem. I'm probably forgetting so many people. The Young Turks. I got to shout out Jank, Anna, JR, John Adirola, Breaking Points, Crystal, and Sagar. Majority Report, Sam Cedar, Emma Vigland. There's so many people. So many people who do this type of stuff every day. I don't have the ability to do it. I have the time now to do it because I'm not doing shit else. So I might be doing this more regularly. So you may see me more regularly doing this, like maybe like once a week, every couple days while I'm not working, just to kind of get stuff out. But all of those people that I've mentioned, everybody I've mentioned here, everybody I just brought up, thank you. Thank you for being that inspiration. Thank you for kind of inspiring me to do this. And last but not least, to my boys, Joe, Money, Rick, Keith, Matt, Mike, um, my boys from our neighborhood, Turtle, Lamont, Marcus, Mario, um, to my fallen brothers, Yates and John. I love you guys. Uh, um, like I said, there's a lot of people, all my friends out there throughout internet land who've the people who've subscribed to this whole deal, the six of you. I can't see who you are. I don't know who you are. I have an idea who the two of you are. I have an idea of two of you are, but I don't know who everybody else is. Um, Thank you. Thank you for giving even half a shit about what I say in these things. I like I said, the goal is to get the double digits, to get the 10. Okay, I'm trying to get the 10, and maybe from there get to 100. That's the goal. I'm not asking too much. Like, if you like what I'm putting out, if you like these videos, just share it. I don't care. Share it with your friends. Share it with people. I don't care. Like, share it with people. Get it out there. Just, I'm having fun with it. I didn't think I would enjoy this. I didn't think I would have fun with it. But as you can see, I'm kind of enjoying it. Um, I'm enjoying like putting myself out there, putting my thoughts out there. I enjoy kind of delving into a little bit of my life or a little bit of some stories about it. Which I'm gonna do more of. I'm gonna get into. I'm trying to build the courage for this because I have to protect the innocent here, or guilty in some cases. I'm gonna talk about my life as a bouncer. Um, I want to delve into that a little bit in one of these videos. So just some funny stories, just some of the funny things I saw, or experienced. Mostly experienced because you wouldn't ever think about a lot of it, and just kind of delve into that type of stuff. Because a lot of those stories are funny, like you wouldn't believe it. Um, I lived through it, and I don't believe it. A lot of it, it's like this is fucking crazy. But yeah, shit happened, and it was just fun. And I'm gonna delve into some of those stories coming up in some upcoming videos, just because it'll be fun to do. Um, I'm also gonna delve into. I don't want to get too political and go in too much into wrestling related stuff on here. Like I said, I do not want to be just to be a wrestling related channel. I don't want that. I want it to be more of just this free form, me talking about just stuff, shooting the shit. That's what I like to do. Um, when we get the podcast going, that's what it's going to be. So that's what it's going to be. And once we get that going, I'm going to post it here as well. So you may get more of me than you really want, but it'll be the me that you deserve. Um, like I said, to everybody that does watch these, I promise you that I'm always going to give you my honest opinion on stuff, whether you like it or whether you don't. And to quote Macho Man Randy Savage, you may not like it, but accept it. Because it's how I feel about it. And that's what I feel. I always promise to give you my honest opinion on stuff, so you always get that out of me. Anyway, as I say all the time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Peace.